Hello, welcome to today's All in the Hips session. I highly recommend that you grab a block. If you have two, that's great. Sit up on that block and just bring your hips up above your knees. And that's just going to allow for a little more space, a little more length in your spine naturally, and a little more room for breath. Because breath is something that, we always need, but are most definitely going to need when we dive into these sticky hips of ours. So in the meditation on Saturday, we were talking about, embracing our imperfections. And so this is a really great opportunity to do just that, right? Allow yourself to notice what feels tight, what feels stiff. And I've had a lot of stuff going on in the right side of my body. And when I get up from a seated position, my hip kind of locks a little bit, and it triggers all of these negative thoughts about me, about my body, about my age, all these things, right? That over analytical side. And so what I want you to do, it's just an invitation to really notice that narrative and notice those little reactions that you have and breathe into it and soften and just be easy on your body and just be really proud of yourself for taking the time to press play today. This is so good for you, your body, your mind, and your ability to feel good when you leave and do whatever it is that's next. So take your time, have your arms nice and straight here. We're going to lift up tall, close down the eyes, and just lift the shoulders up, round them back, and let them come down. And as you feel the grounding energy of your palms, maybe perhaps you could even bring the thumb and index finger to gently touch, creating this sense of calm and ease. And immediately let that reflect through the rest of your body as you feel your eyelids get a little heavier. As you feel your cheeks soften and you unclench your jaw. You start to feel your breath as it moves through your body. You just notice what you notice. If there's any resistance to being still, just come back to that even, slow flow of your breath. Allow yourself to just slightly interrupt that pattern and create a little bit of a pause at the top of the breath. And a little bit of a pause at the bottom. And can you soften in those pauses? Two more deep breaths, really setting this intention. You're going to take this time just for you. Start to bring the breath back to its natural and normal pace. Perhaps creating that ujjayi breath, that slight little constriction in the back of the throat. Creating that audible sound with your breath. Slowly start to open up the eyes. And then you're going to take your time so you can come off of that block. If hips and hamstrings are really tight, you can go ahead and stay on that block, always an option. And then facing the front of your mat, you're going to take your feet a little bit wider than your hips and then just drop the knees over to the left. Lift the chest and bend that right elbow as you look over your right shoulder. And then we'll come back to the center and let your knees drop over to the right. Maybe you can feel a difference between one or the other. And then come back to the center. You're going to extend your right leg straight forward, left leg straight forward. Just give those legs a little bit of a shake. And then you're going to walk yourself up. So you're going to bend your knees and you're going to keep your feet as far forward as you can. It's going to bring us a little more into the hamstrings. And then we're going to just inhale, grab just below the knees, and you're going to open and expand your chest. Nice big breath. Exhale, gently rounding your spine, letting the head get heavy. And then inhale, opening the chest, shoulders relax. Exhale, rounding back. And then inhale, lengthening your spine. And then you're going to slowly just let your hands slide down towards the toes. The elbows can even hook on the outer edges of the shins. And then you can start to just let your head get heavy. And then just breathe into the back of the body. And just notice where you feel the resistance. Again, you won't just feel this into your hips, you're going to feel this in your hamstrings as well. So soften with that breath. Three more. Very minimal effort here. Just allow yourself to open up by letting go of that innate grip that we tend to hold on into our hips, even the neck and the shoulders. One more breath. On your inhale, you're going to slowly and gently roll yourself all the way up. And then from this position, you're going to extend your right leg straight forward, and keeping the hips square, you're going to bend that left knee. You're going to take your left hand straight forward, right hand to a slight diagonal line, and pull your right toes back. Inhale, lifting tall. And then you're going to take your time just inching those fingertips forward. And then start to let the head get heavy. Let your shoulders soften down your back. And just breathe deeply here. With every inhale, encourage just a little bit more length, and notice the tendency for that right hip to kind of slide forward. Pull it back. As you exhale, you may find you can inch your fingertips a little bit forward, and then you may find that that causes you to hold the breath. Only going to a place where you can breathe calmly in and out through the nose. We're going to take two more here. One more like this. And you're going to inhale slowly, taking your time rolling yourself all the way up. Now you're going to take that left heel and bring it just above that right knee. Inhale, lifting up nice and tall. You can start with your hands to your left leg. So left hand to the knee, right hand to the ankle, big breath in. And then exhale, hinge forward. And then you can choose to keep your hands there, or perhaps you reach both arms straight ahead. And just tuck the chin to the chest. Allow yourself to soften. The key word there is allow it. Don't force anything here. Three more breaths. Two. Perhaps even inching your way just a little bit deeper. Breathe into that. And then inhale slowly, taking your time and rolling all the way up. You're going to once again bring the hands to the leg if they've moved, and then you're going to lift that left leg up, doing your absolute best not to lean back with that. So your hands have the purpose of helping lift that left leg, but also to help pull and lengthen your spine. You can rock a couple of breaths side to side. And then when you find that slightly unsweet spot, you're gonna keep yourself lifted, and then maybe you have some space and you could wrap that left arm, elbow around the knee, and then maybe that right arm can wrap around as well. But watch that your foot doesn't start to sickle. You're gonna keep the action of flexing through your foot and lifting the chest. Breathing here. Softening as best as you can. One more deep breath. And once you've exhaled out all the air, you're gonna place your left foot on the outside of the right thigh, and then you're gonna take your right leg just a little more in line with your left hip. This is option one. Option two, you can bend into that right knee, and as long as you can get both sit bones grounding down, your left hand comes behind your back. Inhale, right arm reaches up to the sky, and then you're gonna hook that elbow on the outside of the knee. You can start to walk your left fingertips towards the back of the mat. But the purpose of the left hand is to be able to anchor in, press down, and lift your chest more. As you exhale, you're gonna open the chest a little bit more. And just keep breathing into that. Inhaling, lifting a little taller. Exhale, opening a little bit more. One more breath. And then slowly taking your time, you're gonna bring your right hand behind your back, left elbow comes on the inside of the knee, and then you just take a nice counter twist here. Slowly come back to the center, and then you can lean back and we'll switch sides. So slide that right foot through, left leg straight forward, left arm goes on a slight diagonal, right arm straight forward. Inhale, big breath in. And then you kind of like approach it to where the ceiling meets the wall. So we really lengthen the spine, avoiding that dump of the weight back. And then when you feel ready, head gets heavy here. And as you inhale, you lengthen a little bit more. As you exhale, perhaps inching your way just a little bit deeper. 3 more breaths. Two. One more breath. And then inhaling slowly, taking your time, rolling yourself all the way up. And then we're going to take that right foot just above the left knee. Inhale here. Hands can start at the right leg, and then as you exhale, hinge forward. And if you can breathe and smile back at me, then you have the option to inch your fingertips forward. And again, just keep lengthening as you inhale. Allowing yourself to go a little bit deeper as you exhale. Let those shoulders soften down your back. Two more breaths. One more here. And then you're going to inhale slowly, taking your time, come all the way up. And then from here, you're going to grab a hold of that right leg if the hands have moved, and you're going to take a breath or two and just kind of investigate a little bit, right? How's this side doing? And then you're going to take your time lifting up. And then option here is to wrap that right arm around, and you can wrap that left arm around as well. Inhale here, lifting tall. And again, not doing anything that's going to cause you to lose that length and space in your spine. You're going to lose that quality stretch in your hip, so there's no point. Keep moving with what feels best for you here, and then breathe into a space where you can release that tension. And from there, you can allow yourself. We have to accept where we are, and then let go, and then we transform. One more breath. And then slowly taking your time, placing your right foot on the outside of the left thigh. From there, left foot comes crossing over in line with your right hip. Right hand behind your back. Inhale, lifting that left arm up. We're gonna cross that elbow and then open and expand the chest. Once you're there, you can start to walk your right fingertips back a little bit more. But again, ensure that you're pressing down to lift up. Taking one more deep breath. And then slowly taking your time and doing a counter twist. I just realized I didn't give you the option on this second side to bend that bottom knee. Hopefully you took it. You can tell this is my tighter side. And then slowly come back to the center. All right, so really good with that. We're gonna take our time, swing those legs around, and then from here, you're gonna find your way into a tabletop position. So find your way into the center of your mat, and then just take the first few breaths, just kind of moving around into the hips, noticing how that feels now. If you're like me, you notice a profound difference between the right and the left. And again, you just accept it and be aware as you move through the practice. Now, on your next inhale, we're going to take your time, walk your hands further forward, stack the shoulders over the wrists, and you're gonna tuck those toes and come into your downward facing dog. Now soften the knees a little more than you need to. Press into your palms. You're really actively pushing more length into your spine and then filling that with your breath. Now slowly bend your right knee, swing it towards your left knee, and then swing your hips to the right. Enjoy that nice big stretch through the left side of your body. And then we'll slowly come back to center, bending into the left leg, straightening through the right, and then swinging that knee across. Hips go to the left, and you breathe into the right side. And then slowly taking your time as you lengthen through those legs. Another big breath in here. Big exhale. And then you're gonna really actively push into your left foot. You're gonna lift your right leg up towards the sky, bending into that right knee. And you're just gonna come into some nice, slow, big circles through that right leg. And one more round this way. And then you're gonna go the other direction. So keep that press of your palms really actively even. You're gonna naturally sway over to one side. So make sure that you keep the action of both palms pressing. Now on your next inhale, lift that leg as high as you can and step your right foot in between your palms. Now pivot your left foot, and then we're gonna inhale, open up into your warrior two. So from that position, you're gonna find the depth where your right knee is stacking and your left leg is really strong. Your arms are opening up. We're gonna sink a little bit deeper. And then we're gonna flip that right hand and reach that right arm up straight and through that right leg. Exhale, bending into that right knee. And again, inhale, lengthening, opening up. Exhale, bending into that knee. So what I want you to pay attention to is not just the depth of that lunge, but the anchoring of that left heel. On your next inhale, we're gonna hold here, but still breathing. Soften that shoulder down your back. And then you're gonna start to add a bend into that right knee, finding your peaceful warrior. Breathing here. Softening a little bit more. We'll take one more breath. And then on your next inhale, you're gonna find your warrior two. Flip your hands to the front and then reach, reach, reach. Option one, elbow to the knee. Option two, arm reaches down, where you could take your hand to a block, which is really nice as well. Left hand reaches up to the sky. And wherever your right arm is, you're using it to press that right knee back as well as plug that right shoulder down your back. Slide a little bit deeper and resist with your left heel to help open that left hip a little bit more. And we'll take one more deep breath here. You're gonna flip your left hand and reach it over to the front wall. Breathing here for 3. 2. 1 more breath. And then you're gonna slowly take your left hand down, lifting that left heel. You're gonna walk your right foot out to the right and then drop that right knee down, untuck the toes. Now from here, we're just gonna circle around a little bit. This is my new little fave. Not that it feels good, it just does good. And then go the other way. These little circular motions, I mean, if you've been doing my hips class for a while, then you're quite familiar with them. They're so good for mobility. On your next inhale, you're gonna press through your palms, tuck your left toes, straighten that left leg, and then float that right leg back into your downward facing dog. Now just pedal out the feet a little bit. Press your hips side to side if that feels good. Then settling into the center, press through both your palms, lengthening your spine. We're gonna inhale here. Left leg is going to lift up towards the sky. You're gonna bend your left knee, and then you're gonna just slowly circle through that left leg. Keeping the weight in your palms the same, and then notice right away, like, are you holding and clinging to that breath? And then slowly kick up as high as you can, go the other direction. Two more. And then slowly stepping your left foot forward. And then once you're there, wiggling that left foot so the knee stacks, pivot your right foot, and then we're gonna inhale, open up into our warrior 2. So really find that sweet spot where you don't lose the power of your back leg. And then you're gonna flip your left hand, straighten through the left leg, reach the arm up. Exhale, bending into that warrior 2. And again, inhale, lengthening up. Exhale, shoulders soft. So you've got this really steady, intentional gaze, but it's soft. Exhale. Inhale, holding it this time, making sure that you're not popping that shoulder up your back, so you keep that left shoulder down. On your next exhale, bend into that left knee, resist with your right heel. Lift out of the waist. If you can lean back a little bit more, 1 more breath. And then you're gonna inhale, slowly bring those arms back, palms facing the front, wherever your front is. And then elbow can be to the knee, arm can be in front of the shin, or hand down to a block. Right arm's gonna reach up to the sky. Breathing here, sliding a little deeper into your left thigh, and then resisting with that right heel. Shoulder down your back. I want you to practice looking up and anchoring down. Take 1 more breath. And then let's flip that right hand, reaching it now towards the front wall, and then front of your mat, I should say, and then keeping that right shoulder down your back. We're here for 3. 2. 1 more breath. And then you're gonna slowly take your time bringing your left hand down, and then you're gonna take your right knee down. Don't mind my clunkiness, I'm still dealing with some stuff in my foot. Well, dealing with a lot. Wiggle that left foot out to the left, and then you're just gonna circle that around. Things are a little clunkier these days, and that's okay. Just feels so good to be back. All right, let's go the other direction. And then when you're ready, you're gonna take your time. So from this position, you're gonna place your palms. So you're gonna tuck your right toes underneath. I'm gonna modify and just float back to both knees, then tucking the toes, finding downward facing dog. Take a nice big deep breath. Big exhale. You're gonna bend your knees, gaze forward, step your feet to the top of the mat. They're gonna be hips width apart. You're gonna inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins to support that length. Exhale, fold forward. Soft bend into the knees. Inhale, arms reaching up to the sky. Take a nice big deep breath in. And then you're gonna interlock your fingers behind your back. So you're gonna open the left toes towards the side wall. And then just slightly, as you step your left foot back, both hips need to be square to the front. So you're gonna inhale, squeeze the heel of the palms. And if you can keep that squeeze of the palms, then you can start to straighten the arms. We're gonna exhale and hinge forward. So you're lengthening the spine as you breathe in. It's really easy to hang and shift the weight back. Push into your legs and lengthen more. As you exhale, fold. Start with really nice long lines. Take one more breath here. And then start to fold forward, bringing that forehead towards your right knee. One more breath. Now on your next inhale, you're gonna slowly take your time coming all the way up. We're gonna bend into that right knee, lift that left leg up and through, and then from that position, you're gonna inhale here. You're gonna reach your arms forward, bringing your hands to your heart, and then opening the left leg, sliding the sole of the foot. You may need to use the hand if you're bringing that foot above your knee, and then breathe here. Lifting tall. And then noticing what you notice. Connecting to that midline in a way where you're lifting tall. On your next inhale, your arms are gonna reach up towards the sky. Shoulders are gonna slide down your back and you're gonna look up to the ceiling. And you're just gonna breathe. You're gonna notice those little shifts and you're gonna be soft. And easy on yourself. 2 more breaths. 1 more here. Lengthen a little bit more. And then slowly bring your hands down to your hearts. Lift that left leg with control. And then exhale, kick that left leg straight forward. And you'll slowly lower it down. Inhale, arms are gonna reach up, big breath. And interlocking now the opposite way. So opposite thumb is gonna come on top and then you're gonna pop that right heel high, step that right foot back, slightly pivot that foot. So if your mat was a clock, it'd be pointing to like 1 o'clock. Inhale, open and expand the chest, squeeze the heel of the palms. Exhale, hinging forward. So we're starting with really nice long lines. Again, notice the shift as you press into your feet. Push your left hip back, lengthen the heart forward. You'll feel that way differently. 1 more breath here. As you exhale, slowly hinge forward. And then you keep the action of pressing into your feet to keep creating that length in your spine. 2 more breaths. One more here. And then on your next inhale, you're gonna slowly lengthen and lift up. Bend into that left knee, pop that right heel high, and then lift that right leg up. On your next inhale, reach those arms forward, bringing the hands to the heart. You're gonna open that right knee into your tree, sliding that foot, be sure it's above or below your knee. Inhaling here, lifting tall. Exhale, where can you soften? Inhale, reaching those arms up to the sky. And then start to shift your gaze up, allowing yourself to get a little wobbly and inviting that experience so that you can practice that art of anchoring into your breath and creating a steady state when you feel really messy. 1 more breath. And then slowly take your time, bring your hands to your heart, lift up tall. exhale, kicking that right leg straight forward. And then slowly release. Inhale, this time a little half flow. Arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, hands to shins as you lengthen your heart forward. And exhale, fold. Soft bend into the knees. Arms are gonna reach back up, big breath. And then exhale, hands together. Take your hands once again to your hips. You're gonna open that left toes once again. Stepping that left leg back. We're gonna inhale here. Arms are gonna reach up. So I want you to reach to where the ceiling meets the wall first. Have a soft or even big bend into your right knee. Hands are gonna come down to the ground. Now you may wanna use blocks here underneath your hands. If you have a really big bend in your right knee, do so. Inhale here, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, start to fold. Now you might even take your fingertips and flip them towards the back of the mat and walk the hands back. But make sure that you don't let the belly flop. You scoop that belly button to spine, pulling it away from that right thigh, and then press into your right foot, lifting that right hip a little higher. And then breathe here. Two more breaths. On your next inhale, you're gonna soften that right knee, bring your hands to your hips, and then we'll inhale slowly, come all the way up. Once again, shift the weight forward, pop that back heel high, and then lift that left leg once again, up and through. This time, rotating that heel up, we're gonna bend into that right knee, and then we're gonna interlock the fingers, reaching those palms forward, and then you're gonna sink as deep as you can here. Shoulders are gonna relax down your back. Breathing and lengthening. One more breath. Think a little more. Get a little wobbly with me. And then inhale slowly, take your time, arms reach up to the sky. And then exhale, you can let those hands float back down to your hips, opening the right toes. Step the right foot back, inhale here, lengthen and lift, arms will follow. You can have a big bend or a little, at least I should say, a little bend in your left knee. And then once the fingertips come down to the floor or blocks, bend your left knee a little more than you need to. Lengthen your heart forward, and then exhale. Find a little more length in that left leg as you start to fold. And then maybe you even flip your fingertips towards the back, inching your fingertips back a little bit more, but you're gonna notice that causes you to flop a little bit. So you still actively pull with the fingertips, pressing them down into the ground and scooping that belly button to spine. Breathe deeply. Two more breaths. One more here. And then inhale slowly, taking your time, bending into your left knee. You'll walk your hands forward and then take your time, bring your hands to your hips. Slowly pop that right heel high, lifting it up and through. Rotate that heel up and then bend into the knee, interlocking the opposite way this time. Arms reach forward, shoulders slide down, and then you sink deeply. Breathe here and sink a little more. Get a little wobbly. One more breath. Inhale slowly, step the feet, hip width apart, arms reach up. Again, we flow through that. Let your upper body go. And then inhale, hands to shins, lengthen the heart forward. And you exhale, fold. Soft bend into the knees. Arms are gonna reach back up to the sky. Big breath in. Now from this position, you're gonna take your right hand to your hip, open the left toes. Once again, step that left leg back. Inhale here, big breath in. Exhale, you're gonna soft bend into your right knee, reach forward, and then cross your left hand over on the outside of the shin. You're welcome to use blocks here too. Now with your right hand, pull that right hip up and back, open your right shoulder, and then maybe, just maybe, you reach that right arm up to the sky. Breathe deeply. And as you inhale, lengthen a little more by pressing into the floor, reaching long through your spine. Exhale, now that you've created that space, open a little deeper into that twist. One more breath. Then right hand to the hip, left hand will follow. We're gonna bend that right knee, pop the left heel high, lift that left leg one more time. So really building that strength in your hips in those transitions. Wrap that left leg around the right. Arms are gonna reach up to the sky. And then left arm underneath the right. Twist tie those arms like ropes. Lift the elbows up. Sink the hips down. And then you breathe. Twist tying everything to support, hugging that midline. One more breath. And then inhale, arms reach up to the sky. This time, your right hand comes to your hip. Oh, no. Left hand comes to your hip. Right arm stays reaching. Step that right foot back. Inhale here, lifting tall. Scooping that belly button to spine, reaching those arms, that right arm forward. And then crossing that right hand on the outside of the left shin. Now lengthen first, heart forward, left hip back. Then actively rotate that left shoulder open. And then the left arm's gonna reach up. So you're gonna notice you wanna collapse. So press your right hand. There is a ton of strength and balance and focus required in this pose. Breathe. Create it with your attention and your focus. One more breath. And then you're gonna slowly take your left hand down. Inhale, right arm's gonna reach back up. You're gonna bring your hand to your hip, bend that left knee, and then lift that right leg up and through. Bending into the left leg as you wrap your right leg around. Toes might even stay off the ground and they might not. Inhale here, arms reach up. And then you're gonna bring your right arm underneath the left. Twist tying your arms. Know that if you can't quite get this position with your arms, you can grab opposite shoulders. Think a little bit more. Twist a little more. And feel the action of your left foot pressing so that you can lift out of your hips. One more breath. Sink a little deeper, reach up a little higher, and then slowly step the feet, hip width apart, arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, and you fold. Inhale, hands to shins as you lengthen your heart forward. Exhale, plant your palms. You're gonna step down. Come onto your knees. And then from here, just swing your feet to one side. Grab your blocks. If you have a bolster, even better. Take your time and scooch your hips forward. So bring those blocks to the back of the mat. And then inhale here. Arms are gonna reach straight forward. Nice big breath in. You're gonna tuck the tailbone, shoulders relax down, and you're gonna slowly lower. Softening your way through it. And when your head comes down to the ground, you're gonna bend into both your knees, grabbing the shins, opening the chest, and gently rocking side to side. And then when you feel ready, you're gonna settle your hips back into the center. And you can stay here, just kind of like an upside down child's pose, or you can come into happy baby with me, elbows on the insides of the knees, hands are gonna grab the outer edges of the feet, and you're just gonna pull those feet away from each other while you maintain a relaxed position through your shoulders, the muscles in your face. And quite often in this pose, what will happen is the tailbone will lift. So I want you to press through your big toe mounds, lengthen that low back a little bit more, and then you just breathe. Maybe for these last couple of breaths, you even rock a little bit side to side. And when you feel ready, you're going to slowly draw those legs together, hug the knees together into the chest, and then place your feet down. You're going to take your blocks underneath the backs of the knees, and you're going to let your palms rest. If you have a blanket for your belly or an eye pillow for your eyes, I highly recommend it. Then together, let's just take a really clearing breath as you inhale. Exhale through your mouth. For a moment, you do nothing but continuously redirect your focus and attention to your breath, enabling every part of you to rest. Allow yourself to notice how you feel. To breathe in that experience of just being where you are. And slowly start to wiggle through your fingers and your toes. Slowly start to draw the legs together. Arms are going to reach up and away, and you really get long into the sides of your body. And then hug your knees in towards the chest. You can move that block or bolster out of your way if you need. And then slowly place your feet down. Curl over onto your side, taking a breath. Dissolve any urge to rush. And slowly taking your time to push yourself up. We'll come into a seated position, sitting up tall, and then closing down the eyes and taking a moment to bring your hands together at the center of the chest. Letting the head be heavy, shoulders soft. And just taking a moment to acknowledge yourself. Truly acknowledge your body. acknowledge all of your amazing imperfections because they are what makes you you. Enabling yourself to take on this action of working towards a place of loving who you are, every little bit of it, because you deserve to be happy. You deserve to understand and feel this experience that there's nothing to fix. Perfect as you are. So thank you. Namaste. I hope you have a really great rest of your day. Take the best care.